Welcome back, everybody. It is middle of March right now, and we've had a really warm spring so far, but there's some pretty cold weather coming in a couple days. So I thought I'd like to take a little hike. I'm down here by the Buffalo River right now at a campground, one of my favorite ones to come to down here. And I'm going to spend the night. I've got the vehicle set up. I'll show you that here in a minute for sleeping in because it's quick. And then in the morning, I'm going to drive to the trailhead, which is only like a mile from here. And going to do somewhere maybe 8 to 10 miles tomorrow. Going to do like an out and back kind of hike. I think there's a little waterfall. I don't know if it's going to be much to look at, but I felt we might go check that out tomorrow and just kind of enjoy this nice spring weather while it lasts. Like I said, it's supposed to be middle to upper teens in a couple days for lows. So all the nice blossoms that we're enjoying will be gone, I'm sure, after that. So if you're interested, stick with me. We'll see what there is to see out there. Okay, I just real quick kind of set up the Forerunner for sleeping. Got my sleeping bag and pad in there. I have a couple pieces of this kind of hard foam. Well, not super hard, but stiff foam here that I use to bring the back up to the same level as the seating area there. That way it's a little more comfortable during the night. I've slept in here a few different times and it works pretty good. You can actually modify and I'll show you here in a second what you can do here to modify these seats so that it gives you a little more room if you need it. Okay, what you can do here is, of course, you fold down the seats, but you can tilt that up. You can unbolt this right here. You take this lid off and there's just like a 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter bolt. And then the bottom of the seat can come out of the vehicle. And that does give you about another 6 to 8 inches of headspace up here. And I've done that before when I was spending a few nights in here. But this time I'm just using it like it is. And it works pretty good. It's, I'm 6'2" and there's enough room, maybe completely head to toe, maybe you can't stretch out, but it's not bad. If you sleep slightly diagonal, you got plenty of room. And then I use these pads here to kind of bring the level up the same. And then this is just my foam pad that I used when I was backpacking. And then my NeoAir X-Lite on top of that. And then my sleeping bag on top of that. It's probably, back off here a little bit, probably a little overkill. Tonight's is supposed to be like 45 for a low, maybe slightly cooler down here by the Buffalo, but that's what I do to sleep in here. And it's quicker than, of course, setting up a tent and everything in there. So it's getting close to dark, not quite. I probably got another 20 minutes of daylight here, and clean some stuff up and get some dinner cooking. Making one of my favorite quick meals that I eat a lot when I'm backpacking. Just like these Velveeta shells and cheese. Comes with a cheese packet, and then I usually put some chicken in there with it, and it just makes a little pretty good quick meal. Good protein, tastes good. You could have it for lunch if you're backpacking, if you want something hot, or for dinner if you want. I would probably double it up for dinner and have 2 of those, but I'm not real hungry tonight, so I'll just make one of them and have that for dinner. Getting rather dark out here tonight, but there. What I usually do if I'm on trail is I take the noodles out of this while they're dry and put them in a little Ziploc, because it's a lot easier to pack out a little Ziploc bag. Plus you can put a lot of other stuff in there than there is this big cup. but makes a good, quick, hot meal. Delicious. Good morning, everybody. Had a pretty good night last night. Shows 39 degrees this morning. A little chilly, but that won't be too bad once we get hiking. We'll get to the trailhead here in a few minutes. Like I said, it's about a mile away or so. And we'll get headed down the trail, and I'll show you anything there is cool to see along the way. Alrighty, we have made it to the trailhead. It's about 8:30. I think what my plan today will be is I'll hike for about 3.5 hours in, and then I think there's a little creek there I'll stop, eat lunch at, and then we'll probably hike back out. So I don't know, hoping to make somewhere between 8 to 10 miles today. Just kind of a little warm-up hike. It's still early in the spring, and so it's mainly just a warm-up and a stretch. But we'll see what we can get done today and see if there's anything cool to see along the trail. This is a sort of interesting place. There's these big spikes driven in the ground here. Been here for many, many years. And I believe there used to be a swinging bridge that crossed the river and attached over on the other side back, maybe, I don't know, in the 20s or 30s, something like that. And this is all, basically all that's left is what's left of the cables. But it's an interesting little stop off here. This is Cherry Hill Cemetery, just right off the trail. Kind of a neat old cemetery here. A lot of the original pioneers up here from the mid 1840s and 50s are buried up here, or their family members are. This is a cool little place here. This is a really pretty stretch of Buffalo River Trail here between Irby and Kyle's Landing. It follows a little bluff line above the Buffalo River. Lots of views, and then uphill there's large limestone bluffs. Might be a little hard to see from down here, but there's a whole line of bluffs that are much higher than where we are. Trail's not too bad, a little rocky, but pretty much any trail in Arkansas is going to be kind of like this. So, and it's a beautiful day. It's probably up to 45 or 50 now. Well, we're in around 4 miles, maybe a little more. Found a nice little spot to sit up here about 50 yards off the trail. Nice little shady spot and nice view. So I thought I'd take a maybe 30-minute break here, kind of relax, and then probably start heading back. And there's some other cool things to see along the way on the way back. So we'll get underway here in a little bit. Well, first hike of the season, about completed, just coming up on the trailhead now. I was gone for about 4.5 hours. About 4 of that was probably hiking, a little more maybe, and covered, I haven't checked for sure, but I think it's gonna be 8 miles, because I'm pretty sure where I stopped was at 4 miles and turned around. So pretty good hike, plenty warm. And you know, that 8 miles, that was plenty for the first hike of the year. I'm glad I'm back to the trailhead. I thought it was gonna be a little easier than it was. So, because I haven't really hiked, you know, during the winter time. So that was, the 8 miles was good. That was a good hike for the day. So glad I'm back at the trailhead. Gonna change out of these hiking shoes and maybe get into town, grab something to eat. I sure appreciate y'all following along, and hope y'all have a great day today, and hope to see y'all down the trail. Well, everybody, I just thought I'd jump on here real quick before wrapping up the video. The hike ended up being about 8.25 miles total. The total ascent was somewhere around 900 or 910 feet, which isn't too bad for 8.25 miles, I suppose. The first part of the hike, going out, let's say the first 2 miles or so, was not bad for elevation, but then the last couple miles that I did was pretty rough. A lot of steep up and down. And then I went out just a little over 4 miles, took a little break, and then hiked back. Anyway, I was a little surprised that it beat me as good as it did in 8.25 miles. I haven't really mentioned anything, but I'm planning on a return to the Appalachian Trail late this spring. Hopefully everything works out. Just a section hike. I'd like to get in somewhere between 70, 80, 90 miles, something like that, of the trail done. And I kind of came to this realization, you know, I was sitting down like a lot of people like to do. You like to kind of plan out the trip on the Appalachian, which is kind of futile because everything changes, but it's fun entertainment. I enjoy it. So I was putting down 10, 11, 12 mile days to kind of figure out where I would stay each night. And I came to a realization, this is the next day, so it was yesterday that I did my hike, that that was a little ambitious for just getting out there. Now, when I was at the Appalachian before, yeah, I was doing 12, 13, 14 mile days, did a 19 mile day, but that was after several weeks out there, and I was in better shape when I started than I am now. I remember being a little bit surprised. I knew it would be hard, and I trained around here in the Ozarks, which we have all the rocks, but the elevation is nothing like it is in the Appalachians. So I think I need to sit down and replan my map a little bit. But anyway, just kind of a thought, you know, if you're preparing for the Appalachian Trail and you're like me, you know, you're doing the best you can training around where you live. At least I do live in a relatively mountainous area here, but it's nothing like the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, the highest point in Arkansas is like 2,100 feet above sea level, and you know, on a normal day you do almost that much every day on trail. So anyway, just thought I'd kind of touch base with y'all, let you know. Honestly, it beat me pretty good. So luckily it was just the first hike of the season, and so there's going to be a few more between now and when I leave to do my little section hike on the Appalachian. I hope that all works out well. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and hope y'all have a great week, and hope to see y'all down the trail.